Hello. Don't ask me what I'm actually making for dinner today because it's all a theory in my head and I'm not actually sure how it's gonna, what I'm actually gonna do. All I know is I'm starting off with my pressure cooker, which I actually initially bought for my mum, but I feel like I'm using it more than she is. I'm going to put the link, if you swipe up you can check it out. I got it from Amazon and so far it's actually been really good, mashallah. It's like perfect for dishes that you just want to speed up. So especially people who don't have time or who need dishes, quicker. So like for example now I'm going to make like this chicken thing with it, and it'll just like decrease your time load. So I'm starting off by putting a chicken. Here we are, chicken. Good old chicken. Chicky. Let's tickle the chicken. Now I could have cut it into pieces, but I don't know, I feel like today I want to make it whole. So into this I'm going to add the flavouring that will go with the water to make it like a flavoured broth. So I'm adding a chopped onion. Listen, I'm actually making this up, so just go with the flow. I have 4 garlic cloves, which I've literally just pressed down with a knife, so it's going to release some flavour. I'm going to add that to my 2 onions that I chopped. To this I'm going to add a few whole black peppercorns, add some green cardamom, some bay leaves. As you can see I have tiny ones. I've seen people use massive ones, which I think is really cool, but I haven't found them, so I'm adding some bay leaves in there. I'm going to add some cloves, which gives that kind of little heat, spicy kind of tone to the water, to the broth. And I'm going to add a cinnamon stick, whoosh, with sound effects. And I'm going to add 2 1/4 cup of hot water. I'm going to add the 1/2 tablespoon of salt at this point, and we're ready to go, I believe. Just gonna give it a quick mix. So I'm interested to know who has a pressure cooker, and if you do you actually use it? Because maybe you can give us tips, and if not, are you interested in getting one? You could technically do this without pressure cooker. It'll just take longer for the chicken to cook. So all we're going to do now with the pressure cooker, you always have to make sure you've added adequate amount of water, which we have, alhamdulillah. So now we cover it, we increase the heat, and let me show you what happens. So there's 2 things to start off with. You make sure you put it not on the steam, because this one's a steam one. You put it on the one that will actually build up the pressure, and you increase the heat so that it takes around 5-10 minutes until this starts steaming. It means the pressure has built up, and then from that time you start counting how long it takes for the chicken to cook. I'll explain once this happened. So now we've just increased the heat and we're waiting for the steam to come out of this. Minutes, and the pressure now has started inside the pressure cooker. This is because this has gone up, and also there is steam coming out of this. So from this now we can start counting 10 minutes. If I really wanted to be on the safe side, 15 minutes from this time, and the chicken will be cooked, done. So once it gets all steamy, I don't know if you can see it, but you probably can hear it. You can then decrease the temperature a little bit, the heat a little bit, so then it doesn't burn at the bottom. So I don't know if you can see the steam, but yeah, just decrease it a little bit and let it cook away for 10 minutes or 15 minutes. So in the meantime we can soak some happy rice, where you just wash it so the water runs clear, and then just soak it and leave it to enjoy the happiness. So I thought of this weird idea. Now I don't know if it's going to work or not, but we're going to try it out. Usually the chicken, when you take it out, you can just put it under like a grill or a broiler, and it will just become coloured, and that would be it. But this time I'm thinking to sear it, like give it some colour on a pan, and I'm going to make a little marinade just to go with that. So I'm literally going to make a little bit, so it's not going to cover the whole chicken, but I'm going to basically work it out as I go along. So I've added 2 tablespoons of yogurt, and there's a 1/4 tablespoon of salt, a tiny bit of black pepper, so less than 1/4. Of course I'm going to add cinnamon. Oh my god, this is so noisy, this pressure cooker, I'm sorry. I'm adding 1/2 tablespoon of paprika, 1/2 tablespoon of tandoori masala. I'm adding to this a 1/4 tablespoon of ginger powder because my dad likes ginger. And I'm going to give it a mix. for this, I'm going to add around a tablespoon of olive oil. I'm going to add around 2 tablespoons of lemon juice, so not a whole half a lemon, but around 2 tablespoons. And I'm going to add around half a tablespoon of pureed garlic. And that's the marinade. Okay, so it's been around 15 minutes since the pressure cooker has been working and since the steam has been coming out. I've now switched it off. It's very important you switch it off. And then we're going to do something that will require you to be careful not to put it in a position facing you. So this needs to be facing somewhere else, okay? And just watch what's going to happen when I turn it so it can release its steam. Bismillah. Whoops. Pressure cooker, I'm not sure how other ones work. This one, the pressure thing goes down, so it's no longer up, so you know the pressure's gone. The steam eases off, so even if I turn it around, the steam is gone. There's no more steam coming out, so you kind of know this is ready now to be open. Once the steam comes out, you can just wait a little bit, but then you're ready to open. So bismillah, turn it around. Once you're ready, the steam has all been released. Open it up, and then open it up away from you just to be safe. Bismillah. Oh, chicken, hello! I moved it to the side just so I can do my marinade plan. I've got a wide pan. I'm going to put the heat on. In has gone my marinade. I'm going to just let it heat up for a little bit. And then I'm going to add my chicken and let it gain some colour. Let's see if this plan works. Please work. Sure, it's smelling amazing. So it started to heat up. I'm going to get the chicken now and put it face down. So where the face of the chicken would have been down. Okay, the chicken is so soft, mashallah, that I don't even want to carry it like this. It is going to break. So I'm actually going to have to find another way to scoop it out. Using 2 of these. I've put the chicken on and you can see just how mashallah it's cooked really well. And that's how good the pressure cooker is. It just really does the trick. So I'm going to try and smother it and let it gain some colour. So I'm going to try and cover it just to let it really enjoy the little heat up and see how that goes. I really want to have a sneak peek, see what's going on under there. Oh, not bad, not bad. Oops. It's very slippery. Lovely, mashallah, yay! It's exactly how I wanted it. I'm actually quite excited. So I'm going to just do the bottom now, give it some colour as well. Perfect! Woohoo! You can tell how sad I am. I get excited over such things. So I've switched off the heat from the chicken. I like putting it on the pan with the marinade. It leaves it nice and juicy but with colour. So now we'll let's cook the rice and we'll be ready. So this is my broth, mashallah. It's got all the flavour from the chicken, from all the spices that we added, the dry spices. So now I'm going to add my rice after I've drained it, and let's see how that goes. So usually standard for the rice when I make it is I add 1 cup of rice for 1.5 cup of water. Now I added enough water at the beginning to make up for the 1.5 cup of rice I was adding. Oh look, I've got a wing here. Oh well. Let me take that out. I'm telling you, that's how I shall leave it in. That's how much the chicken was really well done. So yeah, it looks like there should be enough water to cook the rice. I could add a drop more, but I don't know. I'm thinking that looks like it should be okay. I'm not going to pressure cook my rice. I don't feel confident enough with my pressure cooker, but for now I'm going to let it boil away, and then I'll cover it, bring down the heat, and let it cook for 10 minutes. Alright, 7 to 10 minutes, and inshallah we will then have a rice dish. I might add a little bit of I'm gonna taste the broth and then add salt if needed. Oh my god, you guys, I'm not even gonna exaggerate, but the broth tastes mashallah, beautiful. I'm so happy and I'm so excited. I just hope it all works out in the end. Don't want to get too overexcited. So I'm going to stop touching it because I keep messing around with it just for fun, and I am going to let it boil away and then I'll cover it up. I've covered it with foil and I've put the lid on top, and then now I'm going to leave it for around 7 to 10 minutes until it's done. So whilst the rice is cooking, I'm going to make the garnish. I've heated up some vegetable oil and I'm going to add some roasted, salted cashew nuts, using none other than my smiley spoon. If you want that smiley spoon, let me know. I can tell you where I got it from. Just gonna lightly roast these for a few minutes until they gain some colour. So it's starting, it's nearly there. You don't want to leave this for even a few seconds because it can easily burn. So just keep mixing it, and then very soon it will be ready to go. Okay, I'm happy with that. I'm going to now put it onto some kitchen paper. So I need 2 hands, sorry. I'm now adding raisins. Now a lot of people, there's some people who really don't like raisins, but trust me, when you actually cook them, especially the way I like doing it is I like to cook the salted cashew nuts first, get the oil like tasting of that, having that saltiness, then putting in your raisins. When you cook them, they kind of become plump and they have more sweetness to them, and you really should try and try it like that if you don't like raisins, but they do taste amazing for me personally anyway. I love raisins. So it's going to take only literally a minute or so. As you can see, they've all become really nice and plump, and then we're going to also put them on kitchen paper, and then that's done for garnishing.